I don't even know how I have this much energy right now. How there are no bags under my eyes right now.
Oh my goodness, you're a baby.
How you doing, Jay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Look, normally I drink water because I go live afterwards, but tonight I'm actually gonna drink with y'all. I got some champagne.
Yes, finally.
What you drinking?
I'm drinking Hennessy with a splash of cranberry juice.
Ooh,
yeah.
What's going on, everybody out in the YouTube universe? What is going on? Thank y'all so much for joining us for another Tea with Monique. I'm really excited about tonight's lineup. Mary, thank you so much for moderating for us. And she wants to know if Jamal is coming. I doubt it. Of course not. Oh, man. On to other funny news. My husband ran into Sherman today.
Random?
Yeah, so random. So random. That was really funny. He told my husband to tell me hello. So that was sweet. Yeah, so I'm really excited. Let's get right into it. Jay, what we got going on tonight?
Tonight, we have a beautiful lineup, okay? We have Monique's best friend for many years. We have Mr. Donnie. Who else do we have? We have Christian Gray Snow, and Richie is supposed to be joining us. Hopefully he will join us soon.
Yeah.
But we have some very interesting topics tonight.
Okay, I'm excited. All right, we're going to do this NFL lineup style, y'all. So coming to the stage, we have the amazing, the one and only DJ Richie. The Skye Squad is literally in the building. I need some.
What up?
Hey.
What's going on, Richie? Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, listen, anything for you.
Thank you. And next we have the most beautiful, the one and only Miss Riley Knoxx, my BFF.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Riley. Look,
what's going on?
Nothing much. Look, we ready to get right into this conversation. It's gonna be a good night tonight. And I slid right up in this one's DMs and was like, would you come on my show? And he said yes. What's up, Christian Grace? Now
you better believe I said yes. I was like, absolutely, let me know when and where. I'm there.
I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. And save the best for last, Mr. Donnie Smith.
Hey, I slid in your DMs. I said, please bring me on.
Look, I'm all for it. Now, that's one thing about me. They try to say that I leak things to the bloggers. No, I'm just friends with all of them. Fan pages, YouTubers, bloggers, everybody. Y'all are the ones telling the story outside of the story. So I love and appreciate y'all. Y'all keep me relevant all day long. So thank you. No, I'm so excited to have y'all here. We started doing this panel, myself and Jay. Jay came to me and he said, look, why don't we host a Tea with Monique like on your channel and just have the best of the best come on and just have a great conversation. So I'm really excited for y'all to be here today. I'm gonna play music.
Excited to be here.
I'm gonna put Jay, I'm gonna put you right there. And then look, I'm over here. I love StreamYard. It's like I can put people around. Okay, this looks good.
I feel like I'm at a reunion and they're like organizing.
Every seat is the hot seat in Tea with Monique. Let's make that clear. Before we get started, I do want to say thank you to our sponsor, the one and only Mila Eve Essentials. So today, if you shop, you get 10% off on all Valentine's Day kits. So don't be last minute. Don't be one of them ones that's last minute trying to figure out the things that you want to get your significant other. I have something for everybody. I have something for the men. There's a kit called Common Sense, and it's specially made for the men. I have another kit that's called Lover's Lane for all you veteran lovers out there who need some libido boosting, all of the oils in this kit are actually aphrodisiacs, and they do stimulate and boost the libido. So if y'all want to get some on Valentine's Day or every other night, go ahead and get that kit. And I have a kit if you are stuck in the friend zone and you don't want to seem too forward. It's called the Flirty Kit. And it's nice because it's very sweet. It's something you can actually buy for yourself if you just want to treat yourself as well. All of them are. But I'm just saying, if you want to like not be too forward and you like, I want to be more than just like buddies. I want to be buddies, but I don't want to be too obvious. Get the Flirty Kit. So yeah, so that is that. Let's see. All right, let's pop that off the screen and go ahead, Jay. Let's get this thing going.
All righty. Hello, everybody. All righty. So the order we're going to do things, I'm going to call somebody out. I read all of your questions. They're amazing. And instead of just going one by one, if you hear something that you can relate to or you have any input on, just feel free to join the discussion because we all have opinions and we're all here to share them. And this is going to be a good time. So I do want to start with Mr. Donnie because your questions were amazing. So I did want to go ahead and give you the floor to ask a question, and we're ready for you, buddy.
Sure. Yeah, let's get the heavy stuff out of the way first, and then the rest of my questions are light. Okay. At the reunion, colorism was a topic that was touched on, but I feel like tensions were so high and everyone was just defensive and kind of just teaming up with, their friends. So it didn't become a productive conversation. It was kind of just yelling into a void.
Yeah.
Now that you're removed from the show and also a few months down the lane, do you think having this conversation, you would act differently than you did at the reunion? And do you think that colorism is a topic on the show, is an issue on the show?
Colorism is definitely an issue. This is why I had the response I had. And obviously they don't show everything that you say. Right. They only show little parts. What I was trying to come across and get across was that colorism definitely exists. There are some Black women, there are some Black men who are walking around here just as nice as they want to be. And because their skin is darker, they just assume, oh, you must be violent or you must be this way or that way or the other. That definitely exists. But in that instance, that was not the case.
Right.
Wendy's actions in that moment were aggressive. It had nothing to do with her skin tone or complexion. And Ashley calling it aggressive was not her distributing any type of colorism. She was just speaking on the action to the point where even when Andy asked Wendy to basically give another word for it that you would rather it be used, and she had nothing with all those degrees, she still couldn't come up with one word. So that was that. But colorism absolutely exists. It definitely exists amongst that cast, which I was formerly on. And I wouldn't say that it's so much the women who are creating the colorism issues. It was more like the people who want to promote what they want to promote based on whatever colors they think are most similar to theirs.
Right.
So there is an issue and it should be addressed, but let's address it when it's actually valid. And let's come correct, because what I feel as though that conversation did, it discredited a lot of people who actually deal with colorism or people calling them out because of their skin tone and saying that they're being aggressive. It discredited those who actually struggle with that, and it's a real issue. So it to me, it just did a disservice to the Black community when they're sitting back trying to fight these battles, and then you got somebody who just so happens to be brown skinned acting aggressively. It's like,
yeah,
what can you do? What can you say?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that now that you hear the whole story?
No, I absolutely get it. And I agree that Wendy kind of chose the wrong time to make it an issue.
Right. Don't make it an issue to excuse your actions. That's what I didn't like about it. It was like, now you're trying to bring this to the show when that wasn't the actual issue. Now, if it actually happened that way, then of course call it out. But that's what I didn't like. Don't make it convenient for you, Right. Yeah.
I did want to piggyback on that. Monique, do you think that, I guess, there was double were there double standards when the word was used amongst everybody? Because, you know, in certain situations, I do think I viewed that they would use it in a certain situation, but when it came to you and other classmates, it became this big uproar. Oh, don't use that word. It's only, you know, things like that. But I do know I viewed the show a couple of times, and they've used the word themselves when trying to express how they felt about somebody else's behavior. So do you feel like it was a double standard just because it was you?
Yeah, there's always double standards when it came to me for whatever reason. But I remember when.
Sorry. Thank you, Marcella, for the super chat.
Hey, Marcella, what's up, boo?
Woo-hoo.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
I definitely think that everything in my direction, because I was involved in a physical altercation, it became very negative. Like it was like a moment. Now I'm being defined as if that's who I am all the time, when I'm like one of the most bubbliest people on this show who loves to have fun. So I had a moment where it was a terrible judgment. Things got out of hand. And then it went from that moment to basically labeling me as violent or, you know, ghetto or a hood rat or, you know, like none of these women have ever even asked me how I grew up. Like they've never asked the question. They just made the assumption. And then they wanted to call me hood. And I was like, okay, if you want to call me hood, whatever, but I'm not a hood rat. Don't call me a hood rat. Like, that's just disrespectful. Yeah. If you say somebody's from the hood, all right, whatever. Which I'm not, but okay. I say that because when I was very young, I grew up in the projects. But by the time I was like in first and second grade, I was living in the suburbs. And I went from living in the suburbs to then living in a more diverse middle-class community. So, you know, but either way, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter where we grow up. It's about how we are as individuals now that we're grown. Are we still acting like we're two, or are we acting our age?
I definitely agree.
Yes.
I think there was a little bit of hypocrisy going on here because Teresa from New York has doggone near knocked Andy over. You know what I'm saying? We've seen, you know, people on other shows get into altercations and they're celebrated for it. So it really just seems kind of odd to me that at this point in time that they've just chosen to do this to you as a Black woman. That's just odd to me.
Yeah, I still don't understand it. I still don't get it. That whole disclaimer that was made right before I could have fell out my seat. I rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, really? And then it was funny too, because when my song was brought up, nobody actually took the time to actually listen to my song. They just heard the title and they were like, oh my God, you're speaking about violence and da da da. I'm like, that's not even what my song's about. And they wouldn't air my song on the show, on the reunion, because they said that they don't condone violence, but they made money off of an act of violence for 19 whole weeks. They promoted it in every single commercial. So I guess they're okay with promoting violence when it's coming in their pocket, but don't let us look like we're promoting violence when we're the ones that might have been involved in it. We're not able to do the same. Like, it was just, the double standard was just amazing from the top all the way down.
And on top of that, oh, go ahead, Richie.
Yeah, you really didn't need anybody to play the song because you had somebody singing the lyrics verbatim.
And she knew all the lyrics too.
Knew every word. But it was funny because, all right, I will clarify this part. When she was reading the lyrics so terribly, she got to the part where it said, Jeff on the beat, sipping so I'm litty. She's like, Jeff on the beat. So when they heard beat, they're thinking that I'm talking about the fight. I'm like, no, I'm talking about Jeff, my makeup artist face. So it was just like, nobody took the time to do their due diligence. They just wanted to make it seem like, you know, like, oh, you did this whole thing and it was all about this, that, and the other. And it's like, you know, y'all ain't that important.
Yeah, and what stuck out to me too, Monique, he made it a point to ask you if you were a recording artist now, where there's two other women in that room that he didn't ask that to, not to mention women from other cities that he's never asked that to. So I just don't know why he picked that to be the time he asked them.
But he knew the answer to that question because he had you rap on the first reunion, your first reunion. That made no sense.
And celebrated it. Yes.
And asked 1,000 times, can we hear the rap? Can we
exactly.
Remember, because we were arguing, me and Robin, I think we're arguing, and he just wanted to hear the rap. So, and the thing is, I've been rapping since I was in high school. I've actually had record deals presented to me. I've sat in the office of Universal, Capitol Records. Like, I've been at Def Jam. I've actually been. So if anybody out of any housewife or a recording artist outside of Candy, it's me.
You know, what I think needed to be addressed was, yeah, you got into a physical altercation, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is personal space. There's always the opportunity for it to become physical. There were plenty of instances on that particular show, you know, where Robin went in Ashley's face in her restaurant. Ashley said, "Get your hand on my face." Robin continued to do that. That could have been an instance where it became physical because the warning was given, yet the action still kept going. And there's been verbal threats from everybody on the cast about physical, you know, violence. Yeah. So I just feel like what needed to be addressed was not what happened, but what can we do to prevent this from happening? Like, just personal space, boundaries, and leave it at that. Not you. I mean, you can't write a check that you can't cash. Like, that's basically what it is. And I just think since it didn't happen to them, you know, it was just a mess. But the whole point needs to be, you know, personal space and boundaries.
Yeah, before I answer that, I want to answer this question by Coco Loco. Has Andy reached out to you at all after the reunion? We did talk right after the reunion, but we have not talked since it aired, nor have we talked since I quit. Like, not at all. Like, complete cricket.
He did acknowledge that you quit the show because he said it on his show that you had quit the show.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so he knows you quit.
He said a lot.
Remember, I asked you, has he reached out? And you're like, no, he hasn't reached out. Yeah, he knows it happened. Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what to say about that, but I will say, back to the question you were asking, Jay, what can be done to prevent, you know, that whole just like boundaries and everything else? Well, I will say the first thing is people need to understand that just because there's cameras around doesn't mean that, like, we're not on scripted TV. It's reality TV. I'm not sitting here reading some script and we're playing roles. So don't be acting for cameras. Like, be who you are. That's what I am who I am all the time. Whether you like it or not, at least I can say that's who I am, you know? So don't start popping off in front of people's faces that you would not pop off at if you were out at some random bar, you know? So don't do things as if the cameras are going to protect you when you're literally invading somebody's personal space or doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that, especially when that was something that I made clear, like when I met you. Like, I don't like the hands in my face. Keep talking with your hands, you know. So, you know, just remember that you have to show respect to people whether or not a camera's around. So yeah,
I definitely agree. Thank you, Miss Nice Nasty.
Thank you, Miss Nice Nasty. Thank you so much for the super chat. Queen, adjust your crown. 99.99 of us viewers wanted to put the pause on Candace. Thank you so much for the super chat.
I did want to move, since we are talking about boundaries. I know, Richie, you had a great question about boundaries. So if you would like to go ahead and lead on with that.
Yeah, so my question, I think, for all of us, because I know a lot of us, you know, do commentary on a lot of the shows, and, you know, we have our opinions about them and we voice them on social media. So my question was, were there any boundaries that you might have learned about for yourself or that you had to set for yourself during this whole course of the Real Housewives of Potomac? And maybe not even just Potomac, but I guess looking at the Bravo landscape in general, when we think about Kelly Dodd, when we think about Erica Jane, and whatever your opinions are about each person is fine. But have you learned anything about your own boundaries? Like, for me, I don't respond anymore to any negative comment. That is my boundary that I had to set for myself. They can post it on my page. I'm fine with it. I will not respond to it.
Yeah. When it comes to just like the show in general, the 4 years that I was a part of the show, what I realized is that I take on too much. I had to start telling people no, especially around filming time, because I was becoming overwhelmed, dealing with being a mom, being a wife, you know, filming, and then still running businesses and then other obligations. It was becoming too much. So then I was getting like really irritable when I was even around the women, you know, and then they're coming at me all crazy. So it's like your guard is just always up. One thing that I wish I had done, which we're really all supposed to do, is have therapy. You know, like doing reality TV, I recommend anyone that is doing reality TV to make sure that they have a therapist. Even if you're not dealing with anything, so you think right at that moment, having someone to air it all out, to talk about whatever's going on, whatever's happening in scene, because it's confidential. They won't leak or tell whatever you're telling. You need to get it out, because what you don't realize is even though you're filming a show, you're still holding that stuff in and it's bothering you, it's eating at you, and you don't even realize it. So like right now, it's amazing because like I'm hearing that they're filming already, which is great for them. But the thought of filming right now, I'm like, I definitely made the right decision. I am so stress-free. My hair's starting to grow back. My skin's clearing up. Like I'm sleeping good at night. I have time for my businesses and my family. I'm not racking my brain trying to figure out who's going to watch my kids so I can go film this scene. You know, like I feel so stress-free. I feel like how I was before I started doing the darn show.
Thank you, M. Austin, for the super chat.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. M. Austin, has Bravo released you from your contract yet? And if not, will you have to film? So finally, after 3 whole weeks of my email not being responded to, when we went live last week and I said, can y'all just release me? Can y'all just release me? They finally released me. So yes, as of last Thursday, I have been fully released from my contract. And I feel like I'm a stop, give us free. Type of free.
Yeah.
That's free. Like Dr. King said, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. Free at last. No more checking on me. I feel like I'm about to preach a sermon.
Riley, beautiful Riley, I did have a question for you. And just based off, because if people don't know, I ran the Monique and Portia fan page. Yeah. And I was, you know, I'm still really protective over Monique, like getting to know her outside of, you know, just watching her on TV. Like I'm protecting her at all costs. Like I love her. But I know for you guys have been friends for years and years and years. And I always ask this to people who are close to Monique outside of reality TV and things like that. How was it for you watching Monique go through what she went through on TV as her friend, knowing who she is? Like, how was that for you?
It's kind of hard because, I mean, I know she's very strong, you know, we all know that she's very strong and I know that personally, but I mean, she's also human. So, anytime I hear anybody say anything, I have to, instead of clapping back or like going in on somebody, I have to think to myself, they don't know her. They're just watching and interpreting it the way that they're interpreting it. And for those of us who really know her, and I've known her for 18 years, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, these people just don't know her. But then watching her go through all of what she went through last season, it was just like, oh my God. And I was just like, oh my God, I hope she don't come back. I hope she doesn't come back. And I kept saying to her, like, you know, like ultimately it's her decision, but like, I just was like, I can't believe they're doing this to you. And I just kind of wanted to like shout from the rooftops, this is not true, you know, all this stuff. But I mean, I've learned now through having friends on reality TV and having taken part in reality TV and having, you know, been on things myself, that people are ultimately going to edit it the way they want for themselves, no matter what. And people who are watching are also going to come up with their own, and it could be, it's crazy. It could be something little that she's even addressed before, but here comes somebody with this opinion that's completely bogus and completely like, were you watching the same show that I was watching? I just don't get it. I'm like, hello, are we all watching the same show? How do you not see this? But I just have to chalk it up to, it's just like, that's who they see her as on TV and who she really is, which is my friend. So.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's definitely another reason why I don't really get upset when people comment on, you know, my pages or anything like that. because I know that they're drawing that conclusion based off of what they're given, so for the people that follow me on social media, you get to see the other side. You get to see more about me as a person, my family, our dynamic. You get to see the real, So when you're watching the show and only the show, and then they have these conclusions they're drawing, I can't get upset that you don't know me. So it's like you're literally basing your opinion off of what you see. So it's all good. There is like over 400 people here right now. I would love for each and every one of you to go ahead and hit that like button. So thank you. Make sure you subscribe if you are not currently subscribed, and then subscribe to all my other channels too. Not for Lazy Moms and Monique Eva Princess. And everybody on this panel, if they got YouTube channels, subscribe.
Follow Spree. Thank you.
We have another super chat.
Thank you, Natalie P. You are glowing, Monique. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Christian, you are so quiet right now. I need to hear from you.
Oh God, what do you want to hear about?
Anything.
Okay, I do have a question. Because I don't know if you know this, but like I worked in TV production for years. Daytime TV, not reality, but TV production nonetheless. Okay. And when you spend so much time with your cast and crew, like you really develop strong relationships with people.
Yeah.
There's people that I haven't been on a set with in 4 and 5 years, and I still consider them like best friends. So I was just wondering for you what that was like, going into the show, and like what it was like developing those relationships throughout those 4 years, and who and if anyone will you keep in contact with as you kind of depart?
Yeah, so that I appreciate you asking that. You're about to get me crying right now, because that was the hardest part of me walking away. And I even told my VP at Truly, who I love so much, and my VP at Bravo. We had a phone conversation 2 weeks after, I made the announcement, and I broke down. And I said, the hardest part of me walking away is feeling like I'm losing family. I said, because I talk to y'all all the time. And I know they're going to be busy. They're going on. The show's going to go on, so they're going to be busy. So there's going to be times where I might think about them and text them, and I won't get a response right away like I normally would, when I'm actually actively filming. So, I was just like, it sucks, because you have those relationships that you create. They know so much about you and your life, and you're talking to these people all the time. They're like family. So some of the producers know more about me than some of my family does, So I do still talk to everybody. Loved James, the producer James, who
yes,
kept going back to fight again. James, for the rest of you, I talked to James. I literally talked to him the other day. I love him. He was a newbie at the same time I was a newbie. So
that's cool.
His first season on the show was my first season, and we were put together, and we've literally been friends ever since. Like, we've never lost contact. There was 1 year where he wasn't on our show, and I was devastated. But I still, whenever I was in LA, I would hook up with him. Whenever he was in this area, he would hook up with me. We never have lost contact at all. So I still talk to James, and there's one other producer who he reached out to me, and we talked, and and then I have a few producers who I still talk to, and we just have those genuine outside friendships. So it's nice that you make lifelong friends, and
I did want to cut you off really quick. We have 2 new super chats coming in.
Yes, thank you, Jay McCullough. I did not appreciate the ladies picking sides and judging Monique. Giselle and Robin wanted a reason not to like Monique. I hated how they edited Chris during the reunion. All the above. True. I agree with every last one of it. Wait, where'd the other one go? Shoot. All of the comments are coming in so fast. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I passed it. But thank you so much for the super chat. I'm trying to find the other one that came. Scuba Steve. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to the DMV. We ain't the ones on 495 stuck. 495 stuck. That's what I saw. Y'all know what that be like when you're on 495 and you get stuck now. Bowie Boy in the building. Has anyone apologized to you for the fakery? Not one person. Not one. And I think that was the biggest issue that I had, is that watching a reunion, but behind the scenes, nobody accepted accountability. There was no accountability across the board. You literally tried to destroy my family, paint a picture that everybody on social media knew wasn't true. As far as the live that me and Chris did, which was a response to Candace's live where she spilled all the beans. So to show our live as if we're just out here just doing lives just to scream at people for no reason was complete BS. And then for there to be no accountability, I was just like, I'm done. Like, this is insane. And when my 7-year-old, who will be 8 on Sunday, his birthday's on Sunday, my 7-year-old said to me that he would not respect my decision if I went back to the show. Oh, you think I'm going back? My kids be more to me than anybody.
Wow.
So when he said that, I said, what would you think if I did go back? And he said, well, I wouldn't respect your decision. My 7-year-old. So if my 7-year-old can come to that conclusion, then come on. Like, yeah.
Right. It's funny you say that because I was going to ask you, obviously, you know, you have 3 kids, 3 different age ranges. But when the time comes, because essentially the big issue was, you know, the ladies bringing your child into a plot, a scheme, things like that. So when the time comes to have that conversation with your kids, whether it's tomorrow or years from now, how do you think that would go? Like, will you be completely, like, just as transparent as you can? Would you try to protect, you know, their feelings? Like, how do you think that conversation will go?
Well, we've actually had conversations with my oldest too, because they're so nosy. They pretty much knew everything before we could even tell them. So my son, I think the thing that stood out to me the most, we were actually in Aruba. We went to Aruba in October because I had to get that good old golden tan before I had that yellow reunion dress that Riley slayed the heck out of. So yeah, so look, I said I'm gonna start my. I didn't intentionally do it, but I ended up ending my career on Housewives the way I started it, because when I started filming so many years ago, my very first all cast scene, we were in Aruba and came back early so that we could film Katie Ross event, that all cast Casino Royale. And then it's like, now I'm at the reunion and it's just like full circle, I guess. The reunion happens and, you know, we had just got back from Aruba. So we have another super chat. Yes. Thank you, Cheryl Poole. I appreciate it. So yeah, pretty much ended it how it started. My son said while we were on vacation, he said, Mommy, I just don't understand what. One day I might release this video because it's like my 7-year-old is so smart. Like, I swear he's an old man sucking a little person's body.
It's a cute video.
But he is funny. He said that, yeah, Riley, you saw it. So
another super chat. Sorry.
Another super chat. Oh, M. Austin. Oh, you spent all the money tonight. Thank you.
Yes.
My clients want to know, would you consider a Samuel show, and have you been offered your own show? That's not something that we've discussed lately because I've been so busy with Mila Eve. I mean, I haven't even started marketing for that company, and the sales have been through the roof. I've not had a day since December 15th when we pre-launched, of no sales, like every single day. Y'all are amazing. So, but I've not been offered my own show, no. But you never know what the future holds. But yes, my son said to me, I don't understand why they won't just tell the truth on the show. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, why don't they just show the real you, Mommy? Because you're a really nice person and you're so caring and you take care of us. Why don't they show that? Why are they acting like you're the wrong person when Miss Candace is the one that got in your face? I said, wait. So we went through the whole scenario, and I was absolutely real with him. And I said, Christopher, you do realize that I touched her hair. I said, I shouldn't have touched her hair. And he said, yeah, Mommy, but you did warn her to back about your face. I'm like, how does he know all this? And Riley saw the video. And I asked him all these questions, like, he's like, well, I heard you and Daddy talking, and, you know, so he's been eavesdropping, and he knows a lot more than what I thought. And Milani knows the whole play-by-play. Like, they
what doesn't make any sense is the fact that if a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old can get it, how come these grown people can't get it? It doesn't make any sense. It's that simple, you know?
I teach my kids, you know, when they were in school, when they actually had school before COVID, I would tell them, you know, if someone, like, they would come home, and my son is very big for his age. So he's bigger than all the other kids in his class. And they would team up and try to like fight him and bully him because he's so big. So it might be 3 kids. So I would tell him, I'm like, Christopher, if somebody comes at you and they're trying to bully you, the first thing you need to do is tell the teacher. I said, if they do it again, you give them a warning. If they do it a 3rd time, you have a right to defend yourself. And I said, and when you defend yourself, you better make sure it's to the point where they won't come at you again. So he comes home one day from school and he said, Mommy, the same boys was messing with me. And I said, what happened? He said, I went and told the teacher that was outside. I said, okay, did the teacher tell the kid to stop? And he said, yeah. So then he said, it happened again. They pushed me again and they tried to knock me down. And I said, then what did you do? He said, I gave him a warning. I said, if you push me down one more time, I'm going to push you down. Kid pushed him down again. I said, what'd you do? He said, I pushed him so hard, all of them left me alone.
Well, that's what happens.
You have a right to defend yourself. So that's just how we run around here. So I don't know. Don't be coming after me, mom judging y'all.
Let's see. So I did want to backpedal when we were talking about your decision to leave and, you know, who you would miss, etc. I know Donnie had a great question that kind of intertwined with your decision to leave and communication and things like that. So Donnie?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. So I recently spoke to Leanne Locken, and she said that once you announced that you were leaving, that she had a conversation with you. Did you have a conversation with anyone else from other cities or from your own city? And then if you did, what did those conversations sound like?
Okay, yes. I talked to Leanne. I talked to Nene. I've talked to Portia, Dr. Simone. Who else? I talked to Bronwyn. I talked to, oh man, it was so many people reaching out. Deandra reached out. I feel like there was more. I can't really think right now, but there was it was a huge outpouring of love from my own show, obviously Karen and Ashley, and that was it. And yeah, the conversations were very positive. Portia definitely was like, you know, girl, you know, you can do this. You don't have to leave. And I was like, Portia, I said, I'm not as strong as you, hon. I was like, I'm like, but what I love about Portia is that she gets it. Like, she has been in this situation for a long time, and she has turned any negative that she's ever experienced, she's turned into a positive from everything. So I commend her for that. And I just told her, I was like, I'm not built for it. And also her dynamic on her show to me is just a little different than on my show. I feel like a lot of the women on Atlanta, they're on an even playing field, you know? So it's like, they're not all just like scrapping, trying to get to the top, and they're not walking around fronting like they got more than what they have. And
sorry, 2 super chats coming through.
Yes, let me find it. Sorry. Okay. Jay, you had me hooked, instant fan, when you rap during high tea. Oh, thank you. I hope you release an album soon. Listen, if I get some time, I'm gonna actually release something better than an album. But I'm gonna keep that to myself for now. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it real soon. Thank you so much, Chanel G. Will you send a cease and desist to Bravo RHOP so they won't continue to talk ill about you and profit off your likeness? I'm definitely going to be looking into that, because what I don't want to see is season 6 and they using me the whole season as a storyline. So hopefully I'm sure they'll figure out something else to talk about.
Woo. Were you finished with your story before I cut you off?
I don't even remember what I was saying.
All the support you were getting from Portia and Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, no. So yeah, I get a lot of support. It's been an outpouring of love across the board. So I'm grateful. I talked to Tamika Lee from Southern Charm, New Orleans. So yeah, a lot of all my, like, I'm very cordial, and I have a lot of friendships that I was able to develop, genuine friendships, from being on this platform. And all of those beautiful women have reached out and just showed their support. So I'm very grateful.
Wow, amazing. Now, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I actually have a question for myself in the comments. It's from James. Love James. He had a question that asks, how are my eyebrows always so on point? Really? I actually hate my eyebrows. I feel like they're 2 big caterpillars on my face. I feel like it's just too much going on up here. But thank you.
Hilarious. First of all, ain't nothing wrong with your eyebrows. People like literally eyebrows. I gotta go get mine darn near tattooed on just to have something, and then still makeup on them. So,
oh my goodness.
Yes.
But yes, thank you, James. I did want to, since we are on the talk about reality TV, I know Richie had a nice little fun question. So Richie? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. I was saying, since we're on the topic of reality TV, I was looking at your questions, and I know you actually had a fun little question about Monique and reality TV.
Ooh, what was it? This is like, remember the question. I can't remember it.
In your opinion,
He said, I didn't know we were on a game show tonight.
what is Monique's favorite reality series out right now?
Oh, it was that.
Yes.
My favorite reality TV series. Well, Mila Evie Essential, Samuel's in the Basement, because that's all I've been doing. And honestly, I've just been watching my favorite YouTubers. Like, I've been watching, of course, All About the Tea. I've been watching DJ Richie, Funky Diva, Tasha K. Like, I just been watching everybody on YouTube. I've been playing catch up. So any episodes that I missed, I just let it roll. That's how I caught the episode with you, Richie, and Up and Adam. And he mentioned that he was going to be interviewing me, and the interview was actually the next day, and I hadn't received my schedule, so I was so happy I watched, because I was like, I can interview with you tomorrow morning.
Super chat.
Yes.
Super chat coming through.
Yes, money. So,
Y'all on fire.
hold on, where'd it go? My comments are like off the chain right now. I guess Candace will not have a storyline next season. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, we got another one.
I'm sure she'll, cry about something.
Her storyline going to be learning how to write a check, because her mama's been writing them all these years. Now she has that mortgage she has to take care of.
Well, from what I hear, her mama's still writing them, but okay. Nakia Woodard, thank you for the super chat as I spill tea. Hate to see you go from the show, Monique, but I understand. Love you and Richie and Riley. I would love for you to design my wedding dress. Oh, yes. You better reach out to Riley Knoxx Couture.
Launching next month. I've been behind the sewing machine for the last few weeks, like nonstop. So there's literally fabric everywhere in here. So.
Wow, we have another super chat. Thank you for Galati. Did they reply to your email about not coming back? Yes. So I received the email 3 weeks later. Just got my email last week releasing me, so I was free. Yes.
Speaking of Riley, I believe, Riley, you did help with the designs for the Drag Queens music video, correct?
Yeah, I designed all the costumes for the dancers and Monique's looks.
Can you elaborate a little bit about how the process was getting ready for this ginormous video shoot? How was that for you?
Well, what's funny is people don't know that. I think people think that the costumes came after the reunion dress, but the costumes came first. And we were planning, and then there was a point where she decided she was not going to do the video, she was going to release a video, but she didn't tell me that. I didn't find out until later. And so, but I had already started on the costumes, and she didn't know. So I was like, oh, look what I've done, and stuff. And she's just like, oh, crap, So in the midst of, we had a meeting for the video, and we were sitting at lunch, and that's when she asked me to do the dress for the reunion, to which I said no at first, because I had so much to do for the video. And you see the video, there are 6 looks there, and each one was so intricate and so much work, the gold and the black and all the stones, and each stone was hand placed just as it was on the reunion gown. So it was quite a process. And how it started really is I just came up with a bunch of sketches and also reference photos for ideas that I had. And I thought she'd be like, oh, I don't really care about this one. I really like this one. She was just like, yeah, we'll do them all. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing all 6 looks. And so she's like, yeah, there's nothing that I don't like. And I was like, okay, well, then we're doing them all. And that's when I started working on them. And she luckily loved them all. And it's funny because some of them she didn't try on until the night before the shoot. So thank God that she fits. She's, sample size and is the same size as my dress form. So that helps. And the great thing about that is I can continue to make things for her because she's the exact size of my dress form. So.
Yes, thank you. No, Riley is the truth, y'all. Like, seriously.
Yeah, and she is the first person I ever made anything for other than myself, because I make all my costumes on stage. I was not planning on making clothes for other people. And then the pandemic happened. I had time. So she asked me to do this, and now I got a full line coming. So
period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa, for the super chat. The ratings are going to go down without you. I will have to hear from the bloggers not watching without you. Love you, Monique. You too, Richie. Thank you so much, Lisa. I don't wish any ill will on anybody. One thing that I do know is that, these shows, they employ a lot of people. So I'm never a person that's going to like hate on somebody's paper, so whatever you choose to do, I respect that. I doubt I watch. So I'll probably just be tuning into all my favorite bloggers and YouTubers and watching to see what they have to say. But yeah, no, I feel you. And, I respect that. And thank you for your support. I really do. We have another super chat. Cedric Green, love Monique, October Libra, Hazel Eyes. Yes, please recommend an essential oil for hair growth. Has anyone reached out to you about the gaslighting at reunion? So essential oils for hair growth. There are several that you can use for hair growth. So it depends on what your issue is. If you're trying to stimulate growth, rosemary essential oil, thyme, tea tree, peppermint. There's so many, cedarwood. All of those oils are great for stimulating hair growth. And some have the added benefit of being an antimicrobial, like tea tree. So when you get that itchy scalp, it's sometimes due to like a buildup of yeast. Some people have more yeast in their bodies than others. So the tea tree does help calm down the yeast. So if you're a person that your hair is always itching and just, you need like tea tree or cedarwood, and thyme is really good as well. So if you go on to MilaEveEssentials.com and type in hair, every oil that we have in our store that is good for hair will populate. So just type that in the search box. But thank you so much for your super chat and for your question. And have I reached out? Have I heard from anyone about the gaslight at reunion? Not at all. Nobody wants to own their part. So, the gaslighting is unreal. That's like a whole discussion by itself. If y'all want to go there, we can go there. Y'all let me know. But somebody just sent another super chat. Thank you so much, Chanel. And she wants to know why the Portia Monique page was disabled.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All I know, it was a beautiful Sunday evening and I was happy. And I just happened to like Google Monique's name. And I don't know, I know Richie, you featured it on your channel about my post when it came to Andy denying Giselle's meltdown. And apparently that post was on some blog, because that's what popped up when I saw Monique's name. And I made a post just like, I made it. I'm on a blog. I should get paid. Like, just happy. And literally within like 25 minutes, I got logged out my account and it said my account was disabled.
I have a theory.
It literally happened like as soon as I posted and the post got attention and it went poof.
And the last post that you posted was?
What was it? About Andy lying?
Yeah. Like it was the whole like Giselle didn't blow up. And then you swipe it and you see her admitting about the blow up.
Right.
Everybody knows it happened. It was literally the talk. It was getting leaked as we were filming it because it was that intense. It was like the Wicked Witch melted. She couldn't take it no more. It was just like, F yeah.
And I only posted it because I'm a person who likes facts. And I'm like, if I know that the facts are out there, I'm just gonna, let everybody see it. And I mean, I don't know why they would get mad at stuff that was already put out into the universe. But long story short, I got contacted and they said because I was impersonating somebody I wasn't. Even though the page was labeled as a fan page, etc. I don't believe that's the reason. But that's what it is. So I don't know if it's coming back. It's probably not, but it is what it is. I feel like I did what needed to be done.
Yes. Marcella, thank you again for the super chat. What's up, boo? What are some of the amazing products you will create for us? Lotions, soaps, shower gels. See, I be trying to you know what happens? Behind the scenes, I'm planning out stuff. And if I talk on it too soon, I get bombarded with messages. When is this going to be ready? When is this going to be ready? So yes, I have some shea butter turmeric concoctions that are going to be for the body to make your skin glow while also reducing the inflammation in your skin, and helping with acne breakouts that some people get breakouts on their backs and their arms and their legs. So it helps with all of that. And if you see my skin right now, it's because I've been using my Mila Eve Essentials Flawless Skin skincare line, which will be releasing in a couple of months. So don't be bugging me, asking me, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? It's going to be a few months. I'm still going through the process of getting the packaging ready and all of those things. But trust me, everybody has been asking me for years, what is your skincare routine? I've not answered because I've been trying to formulate something that is an easier response for all types of skin. And I finally figured it out. And the products are amazing. My husband uses them. I use them. We use the body butters on my kids. So we're going to be coming out with some skincare stuff under Mila Eve Essentials, and you're going to love it. It's amazing. It has turmeric, it has charcoal, it has ocean minerals. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of good stuff. And most importantly, it's going to be at a very reasonable price. So yes, thank you for the super chat. Bro chat room. Thank you. Would you be comfortable with actually discussing the song collaboration on season 6? I'm excited about it. Mitch, hey Mitch. Look, she can talk about whatever she wants to talk about, but I won't be on camera. I'm not doing videos. I'm not doing any of that. Like, you won't ever see me on.
Look, you're not gonna be in the background for free.
You ain't gonna have me working for free. And when you do a cameo and you're like there for this, that is work. That is a lot of work. I still have lights taped up in my house right now that they never took down. Speaking of, call them while they in town so they can come get that mess. Staining all my glass mirrors. Like, we pulled one down and stained it because it's been up there for over a year. So because I was planning on filming this year, but nope, ain't happening. That's a lot, and ain't nobody working for free. I ain't that desperate, ain't ever will be. Like, seriously. Somebody had a really good question. I want to say, was it Richie? Richie, you need to pull up your questions because I'm
looking at them right now.
Oh, somebody asked a question about something dealing with I just like scanned the email. It was something dealing with the best advice I've ever gotten for reality.
Richie.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Richie, I'm gonna hurt you.
I would not do well at the reunion. Okay, I ain't got no binder.
Listen.
Would you like me to read the question out?
Yes, Andy. Thank you.
Okay, I got it. Was there any one piece of advice that someone in your field has given you that makes more sense now than it did when they gave it to you?
When I read that question, I completely fell out laughing because the person who gave me this advice, I'm gonna tell you what the advice was first. The advice was, don't trust anybody. Don't trust cast. Don't trust production. Don't trust the intern that's here just putting lights up. Don't trust anybody. Always stay guarded, because one thing about reality TV is that people will flip on you. Even the ones who you would never think would flip on you. And I said, okay, thank you so much for that advice. Guess who that person was that told me that? Sharice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that Charisse is out here giving advice, but got let go after like one season.
Wait, but she's giving advice to me about not trusting people, and she was basically telling me not to trust her, and I ain't listen.
Well, on that note, let's pause really quick because we have a new super chat coming through.
Yes. Remicy the Darkness. Thank you. I sent a personal email to your company website. Do you do custom Mila Eve Essentials kits? When did you send that email? Because I would have received it, and I did not. And yes, we do custom Mila Eve Essentials kits. I actually did. There was a young man who reached out to me. His name was Jerron. He follows the Not for Lazy Moms channel. He had a birthday party coming up, and he wanted personalized Mila Eve Essentials party favors for his guests. I mean, that is a nice host because, for a party favor, I'm like, that's kind of pricey. I'll be trying to give people candy in a bag and say, be done. So we actually personalized what oils he would like in the kit. We put bath salts with it, and he was able to choose whatever he wanted. We packed it up very beautifully, put bows on it, loaded all of those in a box and shipped it to him. And it was great. He said he loved it. His guests were blown away. So we do personalized kits for sure. Thank you so much. If you send me an email at info@milaeveessentials.com, I'll get that email and I'll be sure to check it. And just know I'm the one that's checking all these emails. When y'all be getting responses and stuff, that's me. They be like, oh, can you let Monique know? I am Monique. Hi. I don't have no customer service team. I'm answering the phones and emails.
Speaking of your business, which is booming right now, you have everything, just in the works. And somebody interrupted me because we have a super chat and it's for Richie.
Huh?
Oh, read the super chat.
I thought you said it's from Richie. I'm like, how you say it? Right here.
For Richie.
Yes, thank you for the super chat. Go ahead, Richie.
Oh, thank you.
Richie's face on my I'm gonna have to cash app you, Richie. Oh my God. Well, thank you. If you think he's fine, you should have super chatted more than $5. Oh God. Thank you, Michelle Hewitt Williams. Love you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was in one of my Monique and Portia group chats that is no longer because Paige started.
I'm about to say, I know this name. You come on the Not for Lazy Moms channel too.
Michelle, she loves you.
Yes, Michelle. Yeah. I know who you are. Thank you.
Thank you before the super chats came in. What was it?
Yes. Go ahead, shoot your shot.
James.
Oh my God, y'all are
yes.
Funny.
I was talking about your business ventures. Yes. Okay. So I look up to you and Candy the most when it comes to like housewives doing their business, running it all, doing it all. Like that is something I aspire to be because I like having a lot of eggs in my basket at times. And I'm saying that because I know Donnie, he had a question that I looked at that I could really relate to and I wanted to know more about. So Donnie, would you like to go ahead and ask?
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, Monique, you have Mila Eve, you have your music, you have Not for Lazy Moms. You're known for so much. What do you want people to hear the name Monique Samuels and think of?
I want them to think of, this is a person who truly cares about people outside of herself. Everything I do, I try to be very selfless about it. I'm a people pleaser. So I will go above and beyond for a random stranger. And I won't even think twice about it. My goal, what makes me happy is making other people happy. Mm-hmm. I like to see people smile. Like I have people call in to Mila Eve Essentials and we'll sit on the phone for 10 minutes. They don't even know they're talking to me. We're just having whole conversations and they're just just shooting the breeze. Yeah, I'm buying my friend these oils and I want to send her this and what's good for that. And I'm like, oh, okay, you might want to try this out. And, and I just love seeing people happy and for me to be able to feel, a sense of a void when it comes to being overstressed or tired. Right. That's why I love Mila Eve so much because I said it the other week, when I'm packing each oil, I feel a very personal and emotional connection with every customer because I'm seeing what you need. If you're ordering a bunch of stuff for de-stressing or for sleep or for boosting your spirits, I'm actually blown away at the fact that you're looking to me to help solve that issue for you. So that pretty much sums me up. You know, that's what gets me going.
Love it. We have a new super chat.
Yay!
You are on fire. What is happening?
Thank you, Tracy Chapel. Can you tell us what was really going on when Robin said, "I'm so glad Juan Dixon is not here"?
No one knows what was going on. I'm so glad.
Listen, this is what is so funny. Okay, at the point when she screamed that out, I'm almost positive that's when Chris was talking to Chris Bassett, and Chris Bassett got loud with me. Chris stood up, and everybody's like, "Sit down, sit down, sit down," and they're going back and forth, and she just like blurted it out of nowhere. And
she had to add something. She was given she added nothing to the reunion, so she had to have something.
It was like such a reach. It was like, I need to make my moment, and here it is.
It's a good meme.
I'm so glad Dixon is not here right now.
It's a great meme.
She finally did something memorable.
Like, I'm sure he's glad he's not here, but why are you glad about that? Like, oh my God, that was so funny. And I remember when she said, I just looked at her like, what is she talking about? It was that random. It was that random. It was just like, nobody's even talking to you. Weird. So funny.
I did have one more question. I just know for me personally, since we did talk about the reunion and Andy denying Giselle's meltdown or whatever, I remember I had a conversation with you, I think on our last panel episode, and you know, you really gave Andy the benefit of the doubt. And you really, you know, you said he's doing his job, you know, you felt like he heard you out, which is all great and things like that. But when it comes to the point where, you know, months have gone by and this new resurfaced clip that you saw of him denying the meltdown, which we all were privy to, which Giselle herself has admitted to, everybody who was there admitted to it. What was your initial thought when you saw it? Because I saw your comment, but what did you just think when you saw him outright deny it?
Yes. Okay, before we do that, Kavud in T, no, I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat. Kev Oud, I want to really understand what that's supposed to say.
Kev, you don't know.
Oh,
no. Kev Oud don't know. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, Monique, which one of your 4 homes became a warehouse for your Mila Eve Essentials oils because they're flying off the shelves? Potomac. Don't be trying to find out where my supply is. Don't nobody be running up in here trying to take my supply. Because guess what? I am locked and loaded. I don't know if y'all follow me on Instagram, but I'm a good shot. But yes, thank you. No, I'm playing. But yeah, Potomac, our entire basement, and actually, I'm in a different setting today. Normally, I'm upstairs. You can't hear me?
We hear you.
we can.
Okay. I'm normally upstairs, but I actually made myself a mommy cave. And then I'm like on the same level as where all of my orders are being fulfilled. So I come in here, I have my diffuser set up. I sit here and I type all my profiles and do all my emails and all my planning stuff. And then I go out there and do all my orders. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you so much again for your super chat. So let's see. So, all right, back to what you were saying. Here we go. This is the best way I can break it down. When I go to reunion, especially this reunion, I was on a mission. So I was emotionally withdrawn. I knew what I needed to do. I set out on a mission with my binder and I got the job done. And everything that was coming at me, honestly, I'm just now starting to really, I guess, take it all in, how intense it was. Because when you're on these shows, there has to be a certain level of just like being withdrawn so that you can just like handle what you got to handle. And then you walk away and you have to emotionally remove yourself from it because otherwise you'll stress yourself out. So now sitting back and just kind of looking at everything and how everything has transpired, now it's like, wow, I really did endure a lot. Like that was a heavy reunion and a lot of stuff that y'all didn't even see. It was even heavier. There was a lot of questions being thrown my way. And honestly, a lot of it, I felt as though as heavy as it was on me, there were so many other people who should have gotten heat as well. And it was very unequal, you know? So I felt like I was just confused. Like, why am I getting all of this heat and pressure? Like, where is this coming from? I've been nothing but professional. I show up to scenes on time. Whenever we have to film, I'm on time. Rarely am I late. And if I am, it's because of my kids or something like that. But I'm very cordial with everybody. I try to treat everyone nice when they come into my home. I'm like, hey, there's the coffee maker. Here's some water, whatever you need. I like you to feel welcome. I'm very professional. I try to play by the rules. And I just couldn't understand. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, what did I do to get on somebody's bad side to the point where it seems like everybody is like on attack mode, trying to tear me down? Like, it's just very interesting. So when it comes to reunion and how everything played out, like I said before, Andy was definitely doing his job, but at the same time, his job is also to have that same energy for everybody else, you know? So is anybody going to drill Robin about why Juan wasn't at the reunion? You know, like, why wasn't that asked? It's like she can give that response and everybody's just like, oh, he had basketball practice. Oh, that's why he's not here. Oh, okay. And then they move on. Let me have showed up without Chris. That would have turned into a whole situation. I would have been drilled and they would have edited me to make me look like me and Chris had issues and that's why he didn't come. And Juan is actually like the head coach of the team. So you ain't miss a game. You missing practice. You could have assigned somebody else to show up in your place. My husband was a head coach of a football team before. So I know how that works. So it's like, why wasn't she drilled? Why wasn't he really there? Oh, Pastor Holy Whore, he's at a lecture. And they bought that? That's what y'all doing? Why we ain't getting no drilling in that direction? A lecture? So he was doing a lecture in pandemic. It's a pandemic and you're doing a lecture. Aren't those done virtually? So you couldn't bring your laptop and do your lecture over the computer so that you could be here behind the woman that you paying or she paying you to be here? You couldn't at least keep up with the fraudulence. You just let her hang. You know, she had to pay a bodyguard to sit behind her. Every man she got to have on stage with her got to be paid. Like, it was just like, why wasn't all these questions? Why wasn't other, like, people being held with some heat as well, you know?
I did want to cut you off real quick. We have another super chat.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is it at? Oh, there you are. Thank you, Chanel. Again, you didn't respond to D Stewie super chat. Oh, wait, I didn't? I'm sorry. Were you surprised they went hard on you and not on Wendy for stealing names from a charitable organization? Exactly my point. And that was brought up during the season. They talked about that at the winery right before the fight happened. So why aren't we talking about somebody supposedly stealing contacts and stealing venues? You know, why wasn't that brought up? So there's so much more that could have been brought up, but they want to sit here and say, oh, well, that didn't happen on the show, but you talk about stuff that didn't happen on the show because it involved me and my family. And you wanted to make my husband, who has a squeaky clean record and image, look like he's some person that just likes to like go off on women or some crap. When he had a valid reason, if he did want to go off on a woman, he did have a valid reason. You coming after an innocent child. A grown woman can stand up to my big husband, but an innocent child, they can't stand up to that grown woman. He's a baby, you know? So, man, they can miss me with that BS. That's why I'm like this.
Two more super chats that just came through. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we're way over time, too. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Oh. Jay, the reason was the other ladies were jealous and you were becoming a fan favorite for RHOP. Oh, thank you. I mean, we'll never know, right? Coco Loco, what coupon did you get? You are.
It took you straight to the code for a discounted engagement ring whenever you scanned
it. It was for extra sleep because we know those be some snooze fests. Oh my God. So funny. Somebody said extend the time. I got another live. I go live on my Not for Lazy Moms channel at 8:15. So y'all are more than welcome to hop on over to Not for Lazy Moms. Please, everybody, hit the like button. And before we go, let's just start with Riley and go around to where everybody can find you. Thank y'all so much for supporting us and for watching today's show. This was great.
So subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the same as my name, Riley Knoxx, and Riley Knoxx Couture on Instagram, and of course Riley Knoxx on Instagram. And on my YouTube channel, if you guys want to see, Monique and I did a video about our friendship. So we always talk about that. So we did an in-depth video about that friendship a few months ago. So you guys can go back and watch it on my YouTube channel.
Yes, and Riley is like trying to steal my Wind Down Wednesday show, her and my sister. So,
it's really fun.
Yeah. My sister Tasha and Riley like literally took over our show last week. Somebody came on the screen and said, you just need to leave and let Tasha and Riley do it. And I popped me and Allie off the screen and let them have the show for a little bit. But my sister will be back tonight. We might need to make her a staple. Riley, if you want to go live again, let me know. We're about to get over. But yes, and obviously you can find me here, Tea with Monique, Not for Lazy Moms, and Mila Eve Essentials, all on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Go ahead, Richie. We can't.
You're muted.
I keep muting myself so I don't make any noise. Oh, DJ Richie Skye on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for having me, Monique. I appreciate being here. Christian and Donnie, I'm a fan of your work online. Thank you so much for just being yourselves. And Jay, thank you for also coordinating all this as well. And I'm so sorry about the page. I didn't even know about that. So
that's good.
But that's it.
All right. Go ahead, Donnie.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Real Donnywood. And you can also check out my Real Housewives podcast, Know That, a Real Housewives podcast.
Yay. And thank you so much. I appreciate y'all coming in. Jay, now you got to get this Monique and Portia fan page back up, bro.
Please.
You know, I really thought it would be much easier than it is. Because anyway, you guys can find me at JAYE Hinson, HINSON. And if the Monique and Portia page comes back, you can find me there. I'm trying. I don't know what else they want me to do, but fingers crossed, hopefully.
Yes, it's going to be back. We're going to send all of that good mojo and juices out there for you.
Okay.
Come on, Christian Gray.
All right. Well, if y'all want some fun and some shade, come on and follow me over at Christian Gray Snow on Instagram. It is full of shade, but I mean well, so we'll say that. I also just launched the Slut Pig Shop on Etsy, so if you want to get some fun, shady Real Housewives merch, this is where you need to go. You can also follow me on Instagram there at Slut Pig Shop. So thank you guys so much for having me. I had so much fun. This was lovely.
Yes. And everybody's information is in the description. So if you need to click and they'll take you right there. Christian Gray Snow's Instagram is freaking hilarious. You've given me so many laughs. Like, oh my God. Because you know I love Faces by Bravo. So sometimes he will send me your post and I would just be like dying. Oh,
Steve is my girl. That's like my bestie. So
I know. He sent me a picture. Y'all were hanging out together. I was like, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, when I come to LA, we are going to get together. Like for real. Yeah.
Open up. There you go.
So no more. So they can't say I'm paying you.
There you go.
Yes. Mary, thank you so much for being our moderator. You are amazing. I'm like, am I supposed to like pay you some of these?
Oh, she's amazing.
Some of these super chats or something. Y'all gotta tell me how this works with YouTube world.
Before we leave, you have one more super chat.
Oh yes, thank you. Natalie P, thank you so much. When is Binder Stories with Monique coming out? Who told you that? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to release what I call Binder Time Stories, thanks to someone that posted, I think it was either this, I don't know if it was this channel or Not for Lazy Moms, but somebody recommended me to name it Binder Time Stories, and that's what I named it. And it's going to be your adult nursery rhyme. So let's think Dr. Seuss, but for adults, because we grew up to Dr. Seuss. We grew up to nursery rhymes. We love a good rhyme story. So it's not rapping, it's rhyming. It's rhyming. And y'all are going to complete gag when y'all hear these stories.
You're gonna gag.
A whole series. So it will be released. I'm looking to do it in March. You will stay tuned. You gotta follow me. Y'all gotta follow the channel. Y'all gotta follow all my social media platforms, because that's the only way you're gonna know when I'm gonna release it. And you don't want to be the last to find out once it comes out. So I'm just saying. But thank you so much for spilling that tea, Natalie P. And for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yes. Oh, y'all are going to lose it. And I ain't even gonna sit here in front, because Richie is such, like, let me just say one thing about Richie. He is a real dude. Like, I could tell Richie all my secrets and he will sit there with a shock face. Like, he ain't I love it. 'Cause I'm the same way. I let Richie hear part 1 of my Binder Time stories. And what did you do, Richie?
What I'm doing now.
It is so
It's perfect.
good.
It's perfect.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yes. Yeah. Riley you heard 2 parts.
Yeah.
You heard part 2. I'm working on part 3 now. It's gonna
I
be
need to hear a part. I'm feeling left out.
It's because I see them in person. You gotta come on from Texas on over to Potomac, honey.
February. I told you February.
I got your dates on my calendar.
Oh, you put it in there?
Yes, I still have whatever dates you sent me. I have it in my calendar. So
okay, perfect.
it has to be in person, because I don't need nothing leaking.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes. All right, y'all. I'm late by a minute for my Wind Down Wednesday, so I gotta go. But thank y'all so much. This was an amazing panel. Make sure y'all follow everybody, hit the like button, subscribe, and keep showing support. Y'all have a great night as I'm over here trying to get my branding together. Take care. Bye-bye.